That's for sure. Let's go immediately to Don. He was on right away this morning. Hi, Don.
Good morning.
Now, you wanted to talk about the real estate market a little bit as well.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned. There's a good website, greaterfool.ca. It's a former MP. He talks about this kind of thing. The interest rates are basically being manipulated by the central bank, and people think that they're getting a good deal. They're actually not. It's actually, the bigger cities, Windsor's not exactly the bigger cities, but Calgary, Toronto, they're seeing major reversals, corrections, and the people that have all these racking up these loans, even in Windsor, they're going to see in the next 3-4 years. The central bankers have been saying that we're over indebted. For every dollar, we have $1.65 we owe, $1.70 keeps going up.
So you're looking to buy a home, but you're concerned about mortgage rates?
Yes.
Okay, so is that stopping you from buying a home right now? Because our mortgage rates are low. You can lock it in for a while anyway. I mean, what would you... So you're saying what? That people shouldn't... What is your point? Sorry. I mean, I understood what you said about some people saying that this won't last forever, but...
It depends what amount you're going to be loaning to, right? If you're paying most of it off, then I would say it's a little bit safer. But if you're only putting the minimum down payment, which keeps changing, I mean, they just changed the mortgage rules. I mean, we saw this kind of thing in 1982. It was pretty bad then. The interest rates went double digits. So these kinds of things do happen. But these days, it's even different now. All the students have student loans. They can't afford they're nowhere near to pay the house outright, right?
So you're saying be careful how much money you buy.
Yes.
All right, or borrow rather. Very good. Thank you, Don. We have to take a break. We'll come back with Joe. We'll find out what his home inspector told him about his home. What has been your experience, and should they be regulated? Did they help you? What did you find out about your home? 519-792-2559. Still to come this hour, as well as many of your calls. I hope we are going to talk about the real estate market with Goran from Team Goran, and we'll talk with him in our next half hour. Let's talk to you here on AM 800. Well, 519-792-2559. And as we know, and as we've been hearing and reading and talking about, and you might have an experience you would like to share with us as well, our real estate market is absolutely booming. And joining us right now from Team Goran is Goran Todorovic. And Goran, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And it is exciting for sellers in this market, isn't it?
It sure is.
So when was the last time we've seen a boom like this?
Well, I've been in the business for my 28th year, and I don't remember it this exciting in a long time.
So tell us a little bit about what you see happening as far as, and in what type of homes are we getting the most, are we seeing this movement?
Well, it's widespread across all price ranges, but the majority of it we see in the price ranges of 125 to 325.
Okay. And we understand people coming in and paying more than asking price, bidding wars. We're hearing all kinds of things.
Yeah, it's true. Bidding wars, and it's not multiple offers on a lot of homes, and it's not just asking price or 2, 3, 5, 10,000 over asking price. It's significantly, the amount is significant over the asking price. It's supply and demand.
Yeah.
And, the supply is, of good quality, clean homes, is not all out there. And in certain areas are hotter than others.
What areas are you finding hot right now?
Well, the Talbot Trail School area, extremely hot. It's a great school. People want to live nearby there for their kids' education. Certain parts, that's in South Windsor. East Side, East Windsor, Tecumseh, LaSalle, and these are all areas that have always been good real estate neighborhoods, family neighborhoods. But the last little while, it's really exploded.
What are we talking about as far as interest rates are concerned? One of our callers said that, his fear is that interest rates won't stay low, that they really aren't at what they should be. What are they at right now, and what are any idea what we can be looking at in the future?
Yeah, you know what, Lynn, I listened to your caller, and I've been in this business, like I said, for a long time. We've had that discussion, and we've had that debate forever. When rates were 5%, 6%, they can't get any lower. Guess what? They dropped down to 4. They're not going to get any lower. They're the 3. Now we can get rates of 2.54, 2.6. Yeah. I mean, and are they going to go up? All predictions say marginally, if they do anything, they might go up a slight couple of basis points, but probably still be hovering under the 3 mark. But again, I'm not an economist, but I listen to them, and that's what their forecasts are. But there's those people out there in the world that, is the glass half full or is it half empty?
Right. I remember, Goran, just buying our first home. It was in the double digits. I mean, and that's what it was, 30 years ago, right? Yeah. It was like, and that's what you paid. I mean, It was just so. I don't think we'll see that anytime soon. That's for sure.
No, that's correct. I mean, the overall economy in Windsor is the strongest that we've seen in a long time. Look at the vacancy rate. The vacancy rate was almost 15% in 2008. 15%. Now it's under 4%.
Wow. So where are these people coming from? That's a question that everybody wants to know is why? Like, where is everybody coming from, or why are we in such a panic almost to buy?
Yeah. So, I'm going to talk to you about that. There's a couple of things I want to tell you. First of all, when I chuckle when I read the paper and I read some of the articles that the news reports that AM 800 brings out, other radio stations, and they talk to people and say, well, why is the real estate market so hot? And they say, well, the rates are low. Really? The rates have been always low. Mm-hmm. The unemployment rate, just slightly dropped now to, 8.1, but it's always hovering around the 11 mark. So it's not like we've got an influx of jobs that came in. Thank God that Windsor Chrysler hired some employees there a few months back. But the reason why our market is hot, the reason is the following. And think about this. It happened a year ago. Chrysler Canada a year ago on Valentine's Day, February 14th, shut down for 3 months. And while they shut down, they were retooling. And, everybody was off for 3 months. Well, it wasn't just the Chrysler Canada employees. We had Caltex, we had Oakley, we had Intergram, we had all the other feeder plants. They say for every Chrysler employee, there's 7 other spin-off jobs. So they're all off work at home. So what are they doing? They're fixing up their homes. They're doing that honey-do list that was given to them. Well, it's time to get that done. Or their home was done, and what do people love to do? Is look at real estate. Well, why wouldn't they look at real estate? They're great jobs waiting for them in 3 months when they come back to work. Now they have job security. Chrysler Canada came in and put in billions of dollars in the new Chrysler plant. Thank God for that. So now our Chrysler employees, now, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of courage to go out to buy new cars, new furniture, new homes. That's when the ball started rolling. The snowball effect started then. And that snowball has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. But they are the important factor in this. The Chrysler employees, and I want to thank them out there, and the feeder plants, they're the ones who started feeding this snowball because they're the ones who started pushing up that market, who started buying into real estate in various brackets. And then behind them were the younger generations who were saying, well, why rent? Or the kids of these employees saying, hey, why are you renting? Look, if you work at McDonald's and your significant other works at Burger King, minimum wage, with these low interest rates and the affordable housing in Windsor, you can afford to buy a home. So why wouldn't you? Why would you rent for $800-900 a month when you can own your own house? Doesn't that make sense?
Absolutely. Final question, Goran. If I am a seller, just a quick tip on how soon I need to be ready to vacate, because they seem to be going pretty quickly.
Yeah, so if you are a seller, I don't think that is as important for you to leave your home as to get on the market and get it sold. You vacating your home to the buyer, that's always negotiable. That can be 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever you see fit. Also, I should tell you, the big initiative, the people moving from out of town into Windsor, over 100 families in the last 2 years that we know, that we can track, have actually moved their families into our beautiful city.
Wow.
And a ton of investors are buying from Toronto, the GTA, from Ottawa, from Vancouver. We just sold somebody a house, and they're helping with the Syrian situation because they're here, the people. Mm-hmm. They don't know where to live. So we're having people from out of town buying homes and renting it to them with the government sponsorship program.
Okay.
So it's a win-win.
It sure is. Goran, thank you very much for joining us. Goran Todorovic from Team Goran, explaining a little bit more about our real estate market. So you and I talk about that market. Let's talk about your experiences in buying, selling, and home inspection. We'll do it, and we continue with Doug coming up next here on AM 800.
Oh, we're going to shout it from the mountain. Your tires just ain't fitting. Let's preach it from the choir that you need proper tires. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Oh, yes, you do. To a Ford service expert, the difference between tires is that obvious. So they'll find the right tires to fit your vehicle and drive.